President Trump launched an unprecedented campaign of obstruction of Congress, ordering executive branch agencies and government officials to defy subpoenas for documents and testimony. President Trump's conduct sought to undermine our free and fair elections and poses an imminent threat to our national security.
That warning from Dan Goldman during the ex-president's first impeachment trial was daunting and effective, and it's only reinforced by what we knew to be true at the time and what remains true today about Trump's reckless flouting and chafing at laws meant to protect U.S. national security. It included a White House meeting 2 years prior in which he shared highly classified intelligence with Russian officials that jeopardized a critical source of a key U.S. ally. But it turns out all of it was only a forewarning for what we've learned in recent days about Trump's devastating disregard for U.S. national security on his way out the door. Crammed into boxes in a bathroom, among other places they didn't belong, that continues to jeopardize our safety well after he has left office. Democratic Congressman Daniel Goldman of New York joins us now from the Capitol. Of course, you were the former lead counsel for the first House impeachment inquiry against Donald Trump. I want your thoughts on all of it, but just on this thread we've been pulling about U.S. national security and whether we ever got the answers to questions that you and the committee posed about Trump as a threat to our country and our country's national security agencies.
Oh, we got the answers. It was very clear that he was a national security threat. And the Republican members of the House who've all voted against impeachment, and the Republican senators, other than Mitt Romney, who voted to acquit him, now are seeing the repercussions of those votes, because his disregard for national security, his disregard for our intelligence community, for classified information and our sources and methods was quite evident from the beginning. And as you pointed out, in that meeting in the Oval Office with the Russian foreign minister, essentially giving up a source to Russia of information. And now we see it play out in shocking detail. And I think Director Brennan hit it so poignantly about all of the trickle-down effects of this investigation that go far beyond this indictment. But even in this indictment, what you see are two examples, two instances, and those are only the ones that the special counsel can prove, of Donald Trump showing highly sensitive classified information, including military plans to invade a foreign country, to people who did not have security clearances in places where they were not secure. This jeopardizes our national security in so many different ways, and it is apparent, not only apparent, but it is crystal clear that Donald Trump is a threat to our national security. And Nicole, I would add one thing. Any member of Congress who defends Donald Trump and his conduct here demonstrates such a serious disregard for our national security and our classified information that I do not believe they should be able to review classified information themselves.
I wanted to ask you about his enablers. I mean, Mitch McConnell, in acquitting Trump the second time, referred him criminally, essentially, for the other case that Jack Smith is investigating Trump for, his role in plotting a coup against his own government. But as a prosecutor, sort of prosecutor to prosecutor, what is your analysis of the strength of the case that Jack Smith has charged?
Nicole, I've investigated and charged a number of people. I've drafted indictments for the grand jury, and this is as specific and damning of an indictment that I think I've ever seen. And it's clear that the special counsel, knowing that this indictment was probably going to be the only real opportunity to explain the charges until a trial, went into much greater detail than is necessary. But what you see are quotes and transcripts of text messages. You get video surveillance. You have the notes from Donald Trump's own attorney. You obviously have a lot of testimony from the grand jury. And most damningly, you have a recorded conversation with Donald Trump where he acknowledges that he has classified information in his possession long after he was the president in an unsecure location, and that it is secret, and that he cannot at that point declassify it. He acknowledges correctly that he could have as a president, but that he could not do it. And so they will need to look into that. That is essentially an admission of guilt right in that recording. And we will hear Republicans say, oh, he's the president, he could declassify it. Maybe, that's a nice spin right now, but in his own voice in a private conversation, he acknowledged the exact opposite.